handle.
You want answers.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
So anyway, so we've got Shuck's interview, and we have to cover this guy's interview. All right, we have to, because
what happened. No, I hate to interrupt you right here, but I'm so serious about this that I really believe it was some high school kid or an intern. Okay, because here's the deal. Okay, and I'm just saying this because it's the first thing that pops in my mind, because I know. I've been on the fire department. I'm a city employee, or was, and then I work with a lot of these guys through the years. And okay, we all know high schoolers. We all know millennials, and they're interns, and they go in here and they're trying to do a good job, and they're just doing what they're told. Okay, but they only know thumbs. Okay, they don't know how to type right. They don't know how to type right. If you want to put a colon in there, you have to hit shift. Okay?
Oh.
They didn't hit shift.
Oh my God. I would never have thought of that.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's that easy. They don't know. It's thumbs. It's thumb. They don't know to hit shift. They don't use a typewriter.
Oh my God.
They don't have to ever hit. They don't ever have to do that unless they're like a coding person.
All right, so let's put it this way. I am not going to tell you you're correct until somebody verifies that. All right, although it sounds credible.
Man, I've just got this reality thing going through my head right now.
You know what?
I'm telling you.
When we were growing up and somebody says you're all thumbs, it wasn't a good thing. All right. Now it means you're speed typing, right?
Yeah, I do that.
Texting. So we're gonna get to Shuck. So Shuck, Mr. Lucky Shuck is what I'm gonna call him, because he's definitely a lucky guy. All right, because nothing he says makes sense. All right.
Wow, it's crazy.
So anyway, this dude was interviewed.
Yes.
By Detective J. Patton.
Okay.
Haven't heard of him before, right?
No.
Haven't heard of him. So P number 8289. He's at Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Force Investigations team. So he works on the same team as Hodson, I think. So Shuck was actually interviewed on the 6th of October.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
It's a week after, basically, 6 days after.
Yeah, so the second guy who was actually there was interviewed 6 days after, right?
Okay, so just to recap, the first guy that was there, Jesus, was interviewed at 2:30 in the morning.
Right.
The night of.
And
on what, the 10th? Something like that. It was about a week after that, after Ellen. So he's interviewed on the 6th, which is probably after Ellen.
Actually, I think Ellen was on the 18th or something like that.
Was it that far out?
It was.
I thought it was within the first week or two.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check. I'll put it on here. Yeah.
Okay, so golly, why would you, 6 days? Isn't there a show called 48 Hours somewhere?
Well, for the two people who were actually there.
Right, present. You have a guy that's deceased because he's dead in the room, the shooter. Okay, the next two guys that's supposed to be right there, and you don't interview him for 6 days.
Absolutely.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
So anyway, he was interviewed on the 6th.
Okay.
At 5:35 that night.
All right.
Also present was the FBI Special Agent Lopez Fuentes. Okay.
That's a different guy.
Yeah. And FBI Special Agent Jay Coffey. So we have two FBI guys in that room now.
Okay.
And right? So we have the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department,
Right.
a officer detective Jay Patton, got
Right.
2 FBI special agents, and somebody who's blacked out. Okay, there's 5 people in that room.
Yeah.
All right. So where's it being held at?
Yeah.
So as we go through this, it says this person that they're interviewing is an apprentice engineer at the Mandalay Bay Resorts.
Okay.
All right. So we know Shuck. I mean, we're trying to get to, hey, this is Shuck's sworn statement because they blacked everything out, right? So,
okay. So he's an apprentice engineer. I wonder how long he's been doing that.
Okay. They actually say that.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
So they say he works from 3 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
to 11 o'clock p.m.
Boom!
No, 11 o'clock.
I know, but he's
Not
only
10.
an hour shy of this thing.
Yeah. I'm not going to say you're right again.
I know. It's
So-
hard for you.
It is. So Monday and Tuesday, he's off.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And
this happened Sunday night, right?
This happened Sunday night. All right.
All right. Yep.
So he has been employed or was employed by the Mandalay Bay since May of 2017.
Okay.
This occurred 1 October 2017.
Interesting.
Isn't it?
They have somebody, well,
Don't even say it. You know as well as I.
I'm not saying anything.
Everybody
We're
out there
just
knows. Look,
just the facts.
just the facts. But you know as well as I do.
It takes a while to infiltrate. So go ahead.
Now, everybody out there, I think this is very, very important. May, June, July, August, September, right?
Okay.
Dude was there for 4 or so months.
Right.
Apprentice engineer,
Right.
working by himself, and has a master key.
Right.
I just want everybody to realize this is Lucky Shuck. All right? All right.
Yeah.
Now, before we start, because this is
You're
this is a good one. All right?
Yeah. You need to know that stuff.
You have to know it up front.
Yeah.
Because it really makes a difference. So he started May of 17.
Right.
Guys,
May of the same year. Yeah.
of the same year,
Okay.
which is interesting,
Yeah.
coincidental. So anyway,
You don't believe in coincidences.
no such thing. No such thing as coincidence.
You don't believe
man.
it. You've told me that before. You
Oh,
do
no.
not believe in
All right,
coincidences.
there's no such thing. The interview took place
Yeah, where'd that take
in
place?
the
There?
Mandalay Bay,
Yep.
inside of room 118 on the 32nd floor. Okay. Well, they're probably reenacting everything, you know.
I
Who
don't
knows?
get that. I don't get it though, man. You know?
Well, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll understand it later on, right?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
Because he was actually standing out front of 117. But
I mean,
hey,
he claimed. I mean, they claim. right?
I'm telling, I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm giving you some answers now.
Yeah.
So anyway, so present for the interview, it's blacked out.
Right.
2 FBI agents.
Yeah, 5
so-
people in there.
Yep. So they basically say, okay, let us know what you know.
Right.
All right. So Shuck agrees. Yes, he worked that night. Blah 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 blah. Initials obviously are SS. Okay. All right. So we're gonna just skip to this. Were you working during that time frame? Yes, I was. Started at 3. Supposed to go from 3 to 11. So JP, FBI agent.
Right.
Hold on a second. Nope, the detective.
Detective. Yep.
Yep. So the detective says, "What led you to to being dispatched?" Right at that time, he goes, "Well,
Okay.
what do you mean? What happened before?" He goes, yeah, sure, please. What, literally, hey, you just tell
Yeah.
me. All right, just tell me.
Just come on, baby. Just
Tell me, because 6 days later, I still don't have a clue. All right.
Yeah.
So he says, so Shuck says, so I was on the 62nd floor.
There you go, right there. Nightline out. Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, the first line of this whole thing.
The first line of the sworn statement.
Come on.
Come on.
Jesus. Man. Come on, man. I mean,
hey,
I'm not even a journalist. Okay.
We know that.
All right.
It's even better than that. He was not only, he says, I was on the 62nd floor.
Okay.
In room 62,
okay.
215.
215. Okay, the second wing there.
Time out. I mean, we've gotten to what? Like 6 words so far in his sworn statement?
Right.
The first question, where's the lock interrogation for 215?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Does he say why he was there?
He says he was checking a leak. So I'm assuming it was a faucet, not that he just had to go to the bathroom or something.
Is he a plumber?
No, he's an engineer.
I mean,
don't engineers do plumbing?
I would think that that's kind of below them.
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't say below them, but I mean,
it's a different specialty.
I don't know. I don't think engineer is synonymous with plumber.
Well, I'm thinking engineer is like electrician maybe, or some, structural. I don't know, but anyway, this is what he says.
Anyway, go ahead.
So he was in room 62, 215. So
right.
Let's mark that room down.
Check.
Specifically, he was checking a leak, and he says, I got a call over the radio. Now, I think this is important. We need to keep track of radio versus cell phone.
Right.
Versus house phone, because we know all 3 are used.
Exactly.
All right. And it's going to come in handy when we do some of the other sworn statements. So
yeah.
So he was checking a leak in 215. He got a call over the radio. He says, while I was up there, got a call over the radio by our dispatch. All right.
Okay.
Now the assumption is the dispatch he's talking about is security dispatch.
Mandalay Bay dispatch.
Right, where Lily works and all that stuff, right? That we have the body cams. I don't know if there's another dispatch, but at least that's our assumption is that dispatch.
Right.
And they said, quote, I'm assuming it's Stephen because, again, it's blacked out except for the last letter. I love this guy. I mean, this is a good guy. He's not going to work for me, but he's a good guy. I mean, he's on our team.
He's a good person. It might be a female. So
he's a good person. Exactly.
We like that person.
We like that person.
Yes.
So we're going to assume this is Stephen. Stephen,
good job.
Call me at base. Right? Quote, please call me at base. And Stephen says, so I used the room's phone.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
All right.
We haven't even got past the first page.
Again, I don't understand this. So the guy, base, is that like, to me, okay, first of all, base. So there's a lot of times, and I don't know how Mandalay Bay is, but a lot of times there is a dispatch room, okay? And then there's a security room. Okay. So maybe there's an engineer room they call base.
Oh, there could be. Yeah.
Okay. Who knows? The fact of the matter is, okay, go ahead. I mean, I'm rambling. Go ahead. I know.
It makes you ramble. That's what this does. And you're going to love the follow-up question when we get to it, but it's in a while. Okay. So This will probably take us a couple days or about 5 hours to walk through, okay, this video. So anyway, so Shuck says on the first page of his sworn statement, basically,
All right.
I was in room 62, 215.
Right. He says it.
Checking a leak.
Right.
And I got a call over the radio
Right.
while I was up there by the dispatch.
Okay.
The dispatch says, quote, "Hey, Stephen, please call me at base.
Okay.
Please call me at base." Okay, so he gets a call. "Hey, Stephen, please call me at base." So Stephen says, "Okay." So I use the room's phone
Right.
to call the dispatch base.
To call who?
Well, it says she. So it's almost like this. "Hey, hey, Brian. Yeah, I know I'm on my cell phone and you're on your cell phone, but can you call me?"
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There is situations out there where, police and fire, I know for fire they do this, but where a dispatcher will say, "Call dispatch." And so you use your company cell phone.
Okay. That's common practice then.
And you never, ever use a resident or a commercial cell phone, or like home phone or anything, unless yours doesn't work, okay? But you have a cell phone with you.
Right.
I would imagine Mandalay Bay provides them with a cell phone at least.
I don't know.
So it called dispatch.
Right.
They don't really say call me, first of all. And we're talking about probably a different type of mentality with dispatch or something, but you got to know who me is, first of all.
Well, he probably does because he's worked there for a while.
Right. But why would you
since
pick
May.
up that phone instead of a cell phone?
No, he calls it.
Okay.
So this is good because he picks up the room phone.
Right.
So in my opinion, there should be a log for the room phone of 215.
And
right?
Here again, was there a log with Campos's home phone that he picked up in that little room?
No one's ever looked.
Okay. And so we know that there is through cellular carriers. Okay.
Well, there has to be for the Mandalay Bay. Come on. Every time you pick up a phone, give me a break.
There has to be.
And what does he do? What does he do when he picks up the phone? He picks up the room phone and he calls dispatch the base, which is logged.
But, okay, it doesn't go through a third party.
Right.
Okay. So if you, usually when they tell you to call them, it's something they don't really want over the airwaves. Okay. And so maybe it's a little lengthy or something you don't want over the airwaves. So you call them on the cell phone. But if it's a cell phone, a third party would have that timestamp.
This isn't a cell phone.
If it's a home phone or within their own thing,
right,
it's going to be their timestamp that they can do whatever they want with.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The reality is there's still a timestamp.
Yeah, but they have the ability to control that timestamp.
Even if they edited the timestamp, we still don't have the timestamp.
I understand that.
So the fact of the matter is they haven't provided us the timestamp for 215.
And they won't. And they probably won't.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there is one.
If those two people are involved, they won't because that is the deal.
Okay, so
they don't have to work with Verizon or either.
No, absolutely, right? So he uses the room phone to call. He says, so I call our dispatch base, and she said...
Okay, so it's a female.
It's a female, and if you look at least the security dispatch, there's only like 2 females in that room. And it's probably Lily, security Lily, right? So So she said this, quote, "Hey, I need you to go." And then she was cut off by my supervisor on the radio, who said 106, and he says, "That's my call number on the radio." He said, I need you down again,
Right.
on 32.
Okay.
Security's reporting that the fire exit in 100 wing has been screwed shut, and there's a bracket. He cannot get the door open.
Okay.
Now, we are assuming that's Campos, but we don't know if that call is while Campos is in the fire hallway, the stairwell, or in the foyer. So this guy says, well, so let's go back and let's listen to what. So he says, I get a call over the radio while I'm up there in 62-215.
Okay.
Dispatch, she basically says, "Hey, Stephen, please call me at base."
Okay.
So I pick up the room phone.
Right.
I call our dispatch, and she said, "Hey, I need you to go." And then she was cut off
Right.
by my supervisor, who's on the radio. Now, she can't be cut off by the supervisor who's on the radio because he's on the phone,
Right. Right.
for one. All right.
Yeah.
Lucky Shuck, maybe they're both connected. Who knows?
Yeah.
So the supervisor says over the radio, "Hey, that's my call number." No, he says, we need you down on 32nd floor. Security's reporting that a fire exit in 100 wing has been screwed shut, or there's a bracket. Well, no one would know that there was a bracket unless he was in the foyer.
Right.
So it had to have been while he was in the foyer. Right? So I don't know why there's an or. Either it's screwed shut with a bracket or it can't get open. Right? But the one he said is the wing has been screwed shut or there's a bracket on there. And he cannot get the door open.
Okay.
That sentence makes no sense whatsoever. All right. Anyway. So Shuck says, he says, I said, quote, "Copy that." And then dispatch, right, on the room phone, because this is a radio, right?
Right.
Then dispatch says, she, probably security Lily, says, "Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you." How the hell did she hear what he was? I mean, okay, this is in his ear, I'm assuming, right? So
Maybe
anyway,
she heard. Maybe she heard it.
I don't know. Maybe she heard it. Okay,
Maybe
so
he was talking loud. Yeah.
that was what I was going to tell you.
Right.
I'll start you on a call for it, is what she says.
Okay.
All right. Now, it's interesting when we get to her sworn statement because there's a call that she has registered at 9:59.
Of course there is.
Of course. All right. So anyway, so he's talking out of two ears right now. Supervisor in the radio. Security Lily, possibly, over the phone, who hears what he's hearing. Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you. Okay. All right. It's like a comedy show. So then he says, one of our work order calls that we have on our phone. I'll start you on a call for it. And he was basically saying, hey, that's one of our work order calls we have on our phone. I said, all right, copy that. I'll head down there.
Okay.
Click. Timestamp. When he hung the phone up, two phones. He's either got a radio call
There's 2 timestamps there.
There's 2 timestamps simultaneous. He's got a radio call from his supervisor, Shannon Ellsbury, and he's got the phone for the room phone.
Exactly.
He says, copy that, I'll head down there. Boom. 2 timestamps should match.
Right.
Which is where he was when he started to go downstairs.
Yeah.
He was in 215, floor 62. There's no doubt about that.
Exactly.
All right. Getting excited, man. It's good stuff. Love it. All right. So then he says, okay, copy that. I'll head down there. So I walked out.
Okay.
Confirmed.
Right. Right now. Boom.
All right.
Yep.
I jumped on the 200 wing service elevators.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what the floor plan looks like on the 62nd level. So I don't know how long it takes to actually get from room 215, wherever there was a water leak, to the 200 wing. Now, I'm assuming he's on the 200 wing because it's 215.
Yeah. Where's the service elevator? Take it.
Sure.
Down or whatever, Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right.
And it's 60 floors. So
well,
if it was all the way to.
Not really.
No.
No. There's not really. So the Mandalay Bay has like room all the way up to 35th floor or something like that. And then there's the Four Seasons, which is like another 4 to 10 floors, 5 to 10 floors maybe. And then it ends at like, I don't know, maybe 48 or something. And then it goes 60, 61, 62. So the numbering is really kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they had a similar incident to this years ago where they changed all the numbers again. But
here's the deal. Reality though, if the service elevator was on the bottom floor, it would take a while for it to get up there. Okay. It's not going to be ready for him. Typically.
You raise a good question. And that question is, with so many people using the service elevator that day, I'm sure that whoever does the maintenance on that service elevator can give us the logs of the time and floor of when that service elevator got to what floor.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
These casinos have all that. They have to. They have to have everything.
Right.
You're dealing with a lot of. That they have this. They're dealing with just a lot of money. So, okay, go ahead.
All right. So he heads to he jumps on the 200 wing elevator.
Mm-hmm.
Went down to the 32nd floor, and he says, "I just grabbed my drill and some drill bits."
Okay.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
All right.
What's interesting is ABC Nightline said he had a whole cart, right? So yeah, he said so.
Anyway.
Yeah. So he says, I had a drill. Now, what's interesting, I will tell you, when we get to Paddock's room,
first of
there's
all,
a lot of commonalities here. All right, there's a lot of coincidences.
So first of all, the drill was what he heard. What Campos heard.
Right.
Why is he bringing why did he say a drill?
Because there's what did the supervisor say just a minute ago? Said there were been a screwed shut. The door was screwed shut.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
Or there's a bracket on there.
Okay, that makes sense. All
right.
I was just thinking.
No.
Thinking
So this is good. So
right.
Basically, what Shuck is saying is that he left his cart full of equipment in room 215.
Right.
On the 62nd floor.
Okay.
Okay. If that's what you're trying to tell us.
So I wonder. Because he had a cart, told us did he tell us he had a cart?
He didn't tell us he had a cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was up there for some leak, so he would have something.
Something.
And then he came back down.
He never goes back up to get his cart, guys.
Or a bag or whatever he brought up there.
No.
Think about that. And there was, now I'm just saying, there was multiple people saying that there was shots other places than just the 32nd floor. Okay.
Yeah.
And one of those was up top.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, okay, go ahead. So I just want to make that clear because you bring up a really good point. And that is whatever he was there for a leak would have been a different than a drill. Okay. And he brought his drill down, but he didn't really say he had the cart or a bag or whatever he was there for. So go ahead. Just opening that up.
Well, it's really interesting because when he goes through this discussion in his sworn statement, you see things in here like when he talks about stuff, it's rationalizing why he has it, the certain things. I mean, look, this he brings a drill,
Right.
with some drill bits.
Right.
The L bracket on the door was drilled in by 3 screws.
Okay.
He just so happened to have brought a small drill and drill bits.
And is that something that he commonly carries to a leak?
I don't know. To a leak, right.
You know, is that does he carry a drill with him when he's going everywhere?
I don't know. What kind of
Or
drill?
did he just happen to have a drill?
Right. So he grabbed his drill and some drill bits, which kind of makes sense, obviously, if he's told something was screwed in.
Yeah, if he already had it. Yeah.
And then he says, I had no idea what I was walking into. My supervisor had no idea. He was sending me there. You know, he's talking about the danger.
Right.
As I walked down the 200 wing, which is about 60 seconds. I mean, look, the guy's getting off at 11 o'clock.
Again, he's not rushing because he doesn't know anything, supposedly doesn't know anything yet.
No, supposedly doesn't know anything.
Right.
But 60 seconds to get from the 200 wing service elevator to the center core.
But the service elevator is not in the center core, more than likely.
No. It's the 200 wing, at the end of the 200 wing.
Okay.
So he gets off of that. He walks 60 seconds. He's in the center core.
Okay.
So he says, I walked down the 200 wing, which was about 60 seconds. And approximately when I was headed towards the elevator to go to the 32nd, so when I was headed towards the elevator to go down to the 32nd, I think it was about 10:06.
That's like me saying, when someone says, what time did you leave for work? And I said 5:37.
Now, some people are like that, okay? I got it. I
actually say that.
I know, but I don't.
5:37.
You know, maybe he knows. I mean, maybe he's one of those guys. We just don't know what his baseline is. We don't know what his common.
Right.
Thing is.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah.
10:06 is what he said.
Right.
Oh, by the way, the ABC Nightline video of the elevator, of him getting off of the elevator.
Yeah.
With his cart was 10:08.
Wow.
All right. Anyway. Anyway, he says, I walked, I got to the 32nd floor, walked down the 200 hallway.
Okay.
It was completely silent.
Okay.
Okay. He says, I hadn't heard anything abnormal. I started to walk down the 100 hallway. I made it about 50 to 60 yards. Now, come on. I mean, we're in football season. That's half a football field. All right?
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, it's probably half. It seems like a long hallway. Whatever.
Right.
Anyway. When I started hearing automatic fire, we don't know what that was, he was not shooting down the hallway yet. In my mind, I was still standing in the middle of the hallway.
Okay.
So in his mind, he was still standing in the middle of the hallway.
All right.
This is interesting use
Statement.
of words.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, sorry, let me note. Meaning, hey, let me take a step back because I forgot this piece of information that I needed to go before that statement. Okay.
Right, because I've memorized this thing and I didn't do it in order. So give me a second.
Right. So sorry. Let me know.
God. Go ahead.
When I first started to walk down the 100 hallway, so he's back now.
He's back. Yeah, he's back.
I thought I saw someone poke their head out from a door, which was normal. Guests do that all the time.
Okay.
It turned out to be Jesus. I'm assuming it's Jesus because it's blacked out and the last letter is S. Okay.
Thank you, intern.
And it says the security guard afterwards. So
awesome.
All right.
Great.
So I kept walking, and then I started to hear the automatic fire go off, and I thought it was very weird because you never really hear full auto. Well, no, it's weird because you're hearing automatic freaking fire in a hotel room.
Right.
You know,
you're hearing gunshots in a hotel room. That's why it's weird.
That's why it's weird. You know, not that you seldom ever hear a full auto. I mean,
if it was a pistol,
do you normally hear weird? Do you normally hear pistol shots? You know, or semi-automatic,
or a BB or pellet? Okay,
maybe 3-round burst. I always hear a 3-round burst at the Mandalay Bay, but full auto, that was weird. Okay,
and this is an engineer. Okay, this is a guy that's checking leaks.
This is a guy who probably uses his drill as a gun every once in a while. Zzz, zzz, zzz.
You know,
I mean, come on. Yes. He's probably got that on his Facebook page. All right, so it was weird because I was hearing full auto. All right, yeah, I'd hear, you know. Okay, so I was like, this is what he says. So I was like, I thought, quote, are we going to work up here? It's basically somebody working up here.
Right.
I thought it was a jackhammer or something. All right. Okay. Jackhammer on the 32nd floor, 10 o'clock at night. Makes a lot of sense. I don't know. Maybe that happens all the time.
Okay. Timeline. Jesus, when did he hear the drilling?
According to his statement, he heard it when he called saying the L bracket because Alsbury was on the phone and Alsbury told him to check the hallways to make sure no one else was putting L brackets on any of the fire doors.
Okay.
But in order to do that, Alsbury had to think, I mean, this is from Campos' sworn statement.
Right, right.
If you are my supervisor, which God forbid that ever happens.
I would love that. I would love that
and
so
I
much.
called you from the foyer going, hey, I see an L bracket on the fire door, and you tell me to go and check the rest of the floors to make sure nobody, I'm hearing drilling, go check the rest of the floors. Dude, I'm on this side of the door.
Right, right.
I'm not on that side. I got to walk all the way down the walkway back and forth to check.
Right.
Okay.
So anyway, he heard it while he was in the little cubby, right?
As he's calling Shannon.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. and Shuck saying that he heard it, and Shannon had already called him, and he was already down on the floor when he heard it.
Right.
Okay, so I'm piecing this together now. I mean, it could be a different set of shots, but he said he'd already seen Jesus's head poke out.
Right.
And so go ahead, because it might be, coming up. I mean, I'm just trying to piece it together in my head.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
He says, and then, after he hears the jackhammer, he says, and then at that time.
At that point in time. Which, if you haven't heard some of Campos's statements, he uses that phrase a lot. So
he does. Yeah.
Just letting you know.
By the way, your head's getting cut off by the video.
Is it? Oh my God. Well, you told me I was going to supervise you. I started to get a big head.
Started?
Drop and give me 50.
Hey, you know what? You don't use that. You don't use that half of your head anyway, so that's all right.
How do I look bald? Okay. Go ahead.
So he says, after the jackhammer, got it. He says, and then at that time, the fire stopped.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it says the firing stopped. All right. The rounds stopped, is what he says after that. So he goes, and then at that time, the fire stopped, period. The rounds stopped, period. Okay.
Not the jackhammer.
Mm-mm.
The jackhammer didn't stop.
No. So yeah, let's go back. That's a good point. He says, so I kept walking, and then I started to hear the automatic fire go off, and I thought it was very weird because you never really hear full auto. So I was like, okay, so he realized it was auto, but now he's trying to tell everybody that he thought it was jackhammer or something.
Right.
And then he goes back and says, and then at that time, it stopped. The rounds stopped.
Yeah. And saying rounds is unique. I'd like to know his history of using, firearms.
It's in here.
Okay. All right.
So he says in a split second, Jesus, I'm assuming it's blacked out, popped out and said, get cover, get cover. He was on the right side of the hallway.
Okay.
All right. Now, Jesus never said that he saw Shuck and never said that he said, get cover, get cover.
In two statements.
And video. Well, he's okay. Yeah. Both of his sworn statements
said nothing about Shuck.
Nothing.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.